what's going on, guys? It's your boy AR on 2 bringing you guys our NPL W2 versus Eric. Because of time, I'm just going to go right into the game. I'm going to skim over my team really quick, though, just so when you have an idea of what I brought. So from right to left, we brought a Calm Mind Crest with an Iron Ball, so that way then with the terrain up, he cannot Toxic Stall me. And I have Calm Mind, Moonlight, Psychic, and Ice Beam. Hits his team fairly well. I have a Life Orb Mienshao that's meant to outspeed a max speed Meloetta with just it has just coverage for its team. I sort of forget the moveset exactly. I have Aerodactyl, who is meant to be our lead this game. It's our Mega, of course, versus regular Aerodactyl. I have Life Orb SD Scizor, that is meant to mostly be as a backup for Celesteela, also revenges off things later on with Bullet Punch, of course. I have Tapu Fini with Wookie Berry, Calm Mind, Taunt, and then Dual Stab, so that way then Mega Venusaur can't switch in because I can always taunt it and stop it from recovering later on. And I have Calm Mind for when Mega Venusaur is down, because it could help me with things, really everything else on the team besides Drapion. So if Drapion and Mega Venusaur go, Infinity just wins. And then finally, I have 4 attacks Naganadel with U-Turn, Draco, Fire Blast, and Sludge Wave with Fire MC, so that his switch-ins are literally nothing besides Meloetta, as we find out later on. So basically, I lead off with Scizor. I figured I could fake the U-Turn. Also, if he leads off with Aerodactyl, I could potentially Bullet Punch or SD, depending on what I felt like. Predicting the taunt, I figured most likely Bullet Punch, but I figured that I wanted to sort of go risky. I wanted to risk and go for the Sword Dance just to be safe, because I figured the Celesteela switch was obvious. Worst comes to worst, he taunts me, and I just go for Bullet Punch next turn. I figured there's nothing to lose. I would have much rather Bullet Punch the Aerodactyl, obviously keeping us stay in. So it's fine though, I can get some really nice superpower chip off versus Celesteela. I do literally sack this thing turn 1, which sucks. Well, turn 2, I guess. But on the bright side, we have essentially broken the Celesteela already. So it's a very big threat to us gone, or pretty much gone, because it's not really going to have any leftovers recovery, or recovery outside of leftovers. So, I don't know why I didn't just U-turn here, to be honest. I go for the Fire MZ. I figured he literally has no switch-ins, but he's bringing most likely an AV Meloetta, I believe this is. It's definitely very Spadef. So I U-turn into Cresselia, because I figured that there was no reason to hard swap, because if he was Scarf, then I knew he was Scarf, and there's no way he was Scarf, because of how well he took the hit. So I figured from there, I can go right into Crest. I went for the Calm Mind, forgetting that he has a Drapion that I can switch right in, and Drapion is a very scary mon for my team. I was really banking on him setting up a Sword Dance here. If he was AV and predicted my switch, I very well could have lost the game right there to Drapion, because if he's AV at this point, I had to bank on getting the +2 with Mienshao and actually beating a Drapion 1v1. So it could have been very bad. So I do Mega Evolve here, and I go for Earthquake. I don't kill. I was fairly certain I wasn't going to kill. It's fine. He luckily misses his Aqua Tail. This would have guaranteed killed. It is because of this that his Drapion is on a lot more pressure versus my team. And yeah, so luckily we did end up losing the hit. This is very good on my end. He does end up switching here. I predict. I don't think he's going to sack this early on because of how much Drapion does to my team. So I go for Stealth Rock. I figured that I can always just make it take more chip when it comes back in. Luckily he switches out. That's very good on our part. And I go for Stone Edge because I know most likely a kill. It was a very small roll. He lived only if he was like max of his death. And I figured that with how he took the superpower, I was willing to risk it because it didn't seem like he was max. So we kill a Celesteela off. Next up he brings the Mamoswine. And I figured that I can switch hard into Tapu Fini on the Ice Shard. That was fairly obvious. As of course Eric goes for Ice Shard. And I end up having to go for the taunt because I don't want the Mega Venusaur potentially leech seeding or getting up a synthesis. So he goes for Sludge Bomb, fairly obvious. I sort of expected this. From here, I go for a Moonlight. I want to be at max health, and I figured that regardless of what he goes for, no matter what, live the hit. So sadly, our Iron Ball is gone. We find out he's Life Orb. I kind of wish I got a Calm Mind there in hindsight, but it could be worse. He goes for Stealth Rock here as I go for Moonlight. I figured that I could potentially 1v1 his entire team with Crest now at this point because he doesn't really have anything. He goes for the Taunt, sadly, so that means I cannot Calm Mind up or recover at this point in the game. So I just try and go for Freezes. I figure that he doesn't really have good switch-ins besides Mamoswine and Venusaur, who don't switch in Psychic very well. So we luckily get our Taunt wear it off, but we are now paralyzed because of Thunderbolt. And this is very scary because our Crest is now getting 1v1 by a Meloetta, who this could otherwise very easily beat. He does U-turn out here into Aerodactyl, most likely trying to get off physical hits because we're at +1 and he will literally do nothing to us. So we get a Moonlight off, luckily. And his Stone Edge is doing fairly decent damage. And luckily, though, we do kill the Aerodactyl because Aerodactyl, I'm not sure what his item was, but depending on what his item was, he could have potentially beaten out some other mons on our team, such as Finny later on. or maybe even the Mienshao because we are not Scarf Mienshao. So depending on his coverage, he could have definitely hit a couple mons that are key players for later on in the game. Finn, not so much a key player, but it still is a very important mon to switch on Mamoswine, besides Crest, who's now paralyzed. So, next up, he does actually bring in Mamoswine, and he goes to the knockoff, which almost kills, and we get paralyzed. So now he is able to kill us off with knockoff. Had we not gotten paralyzed there, we could have very easily gotten up a Moonlight. In fact, had the paralysis not been there, we could have potentially 1v1 his entire team at this point, and this would have been game. So, that sucks. Luckily though, I'm able to bring in the Mienshao as he does switch into Mega Venusaur. So he takes the Drain Punch fairly well. It sucks that he took it so well. As I go into Finny, I'm not sure why I went into Finny in all honesty. I figured, my guess is because I just wanted to get off a taunt at the time, and then I figured that I didn't really need Finny too much, and I knew that with the Wiki Bear I can get up my HP again. And I just decided to sack Finny here. Again, not sure why. Maybe I forget the calc. Maybe I died to Earthquake. I wasn't overly phys def, so I wouldn't be overly surprised by that. But I go for U-turn here. I figured the Mellow Water was the switch. It seemed like it's the only logical switch. And regardless, even if I killed that, Mamoswine came in and killed me off anyway. So he does bring up Mamoswine on the Aerodactyl here, though, and he kills off Mega Aerodactyl. That's fine. I cannot hard swap in Mienshao because had he went for Ice Cold Crash, that could have been very, very bad for us. So I go for Drain Punch here. Again, I'm not too sure why I went for Drain Punch here. I just know I did. And then I go hard into Naganadel. I figured that Naganadel definitely can just get off some nice damage with Sludge Wave versus him. And then potentially go for a Draco. And I go for the Draco here. He lives, sadly. So now he is literally going to beat us 1v1 with this. I figured I cannot just hard swap because Naganadel is going to take a ton of damage. And, well, more so just like it doesn't really come in anymore. Like I know it beats me 1v1. So I was hoping that he went for but I realized that he couldn't really touch me on Mienshao at this point. So I go for an SD here. He goes for Sludge Bomb. It does actually a lot more than I thought. I didn't think it was going to do this much. I figured, though, because of how little he's doing to Naganadel. And even then, Naganadel regardless was sacked at this point. I kind of had to do this. So I go for the knockoff, get a crit. It does not really matter too much because he kills us off with Sludge Bomb. It's fine. I figured that if we had hard swap and Naganadel sacked that, we came back in and we lost the game regardless because he couldn't kill. And then we died to Sludge Bomb. So I go for Draco here. Luckily, we do kill the Mega Venusaur. Not luckily though, we do die to Mamoswine because literally any attack of Mamoswine kills at this point. So that is going to be a good game to Eric. Had Crest not got paralyzed, and we talked about this after the game, had Crest not got paralyzed, I very easily could have won this game in terms of just setting up the Crest. The Aqua Tail miss was unfortunate, very unfortunate actually. It was the only reason I really got into my position to the point where that mattered, but it still definitely played into it. And even then, I could have always, Drapion was weak enough after the Earthquake to the point where I could have always revenged it off with something later on, such as Mienshao. So the paralysis on Crest definitely mattered more than the Aqua Tail miss, but the Aqua Tail miss still definitely is very unfortunate, of course. I think we played a lot better this week than last week for sure. 1-0 loss isn't that bad. I mean, we're still positive differential for once. We play up against Omega Jolteon next week in the NPL. So if you guys enjoy, make sure to leave a like. We will be back next week for our match against Omega Jolteon. And hopefully we don't lose. I'm hoping we can go 2-1 in division. That would be really good because we have some hard people out of division that we're going to have to play, such as Aki and Merc. And I think we play Jay as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys then, though. Peace out.